Greetings, everyone! It is I, Kikoskia, welcoming you to the stream. The pre-stream, to be exact, where you have the opportunity to get here, get comfortable, and get ready for me waiting for the game to launch. There we go. It's King of the Castle. New dynasty. New plan. This is going to be the dynasty of failure. Oh boy, is this going to be the dynasty of catastrophe. A dynasty to end all dynasties, for we are going to be looking for ways to lose. We're going to be looking for everything that we can do in that regard. All the things. I have plans, everyone. Hello, Tentretto. How are you this day? I hope you are doing well. I have made a new monarch. I have an idea for a dynasty name. Hello, Daffy. And this time, we're not only going to go for that no stability ending and that no money ending. We're also going to go for all the other terrible endings that we can get. There are many awful ways for our kingdom to lose, and we are going to seek out all of them. As many as we can. Because we haven't seen them. So why not see them? The oh no, everything is on fire ending. Oh yeah. That is the one. That is the one. You can't join yet. We haven't started yet, Rithland. Though I will welcome you here. Can't join until there's actually a dynasty. We need a new dynasty. So, I need... There we go. Just gotta think about this. First time getting to join at the start? That you do! Although, oh my word, this is going to be a thing. Hello Ada, how you doing? Frustrated. Well, hopefully this will help you to be less frustrated, apparently. Trying to think about the name. Hang on. I am looking for a particular name. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. That's the name I'm looking for. Need to catch up on the VODs. Here the Grandy's got to win and I'll burn everything. Oh, don't worry. We're going to be burning everything to the ground this time too. Hello, Deus. How you doing? What's this, a new game? It's a new dynasty. But we're going for a very particular set of goals here. At least I'm trying to go for a very particular set of goals. So, we're definitely playing on Twitch. We have the Counts. We have the Patricians. We are not having the Grandees. It's either going to be the Barons or... We're going for the Chiefs. I think it's going to be blue, green, and purple. Oh no, I will be poor as the rest of you. I know! But don't worry, we always have the other dynasty for later. There you go. You may notice that our monarch looks like she is definitely done with this. That is because by the end of this reign, everyone is going to be done with this kingdom. Because this kingdom is going to be horrendous. So, my plan is simple. I'm going to try go for as many failures as possible. I'm going to be aiming for a bankruptcy failure, a loss of stability failure. I'm going to be aiming for lots of endings. Lots of endings. And trust me, we can tank a kingdom really hard. I wanted the Chiefs because Ragnarok is very interesting. Makes you better with the show to go around. I saw a video of a streamer weekend who managed to get a record speed run to ending. It took him 7 or 8 tries. Oh! It's alright, we are going to buy the jeweled crabs this time. It is absolutely going to end up working out. I guarantee it to you. It will work out. Everything will work out. It will in fact not work out. Hello there, area. How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Look at how huge the coast is. Wow, this version of the kingdom is like, hey, the east is tiny, the north is tiny, the count, the patricians, massive. And all of you are going to buy jeweled crabs. This is an yeah, it's completely a thing. It is absolutely huge kingdom there. Look at our tiny little like royal land here. I mean, that is true. But please don't stab me. I kind of want to live. Actually, here's the plan. I do everything to jeopardize myself. That's what I'm going to do. How quickly can I tank this kingdom? Let's find out. Let us find out. Because I'd like to get the bankruptcy. Look at that 3,000 money you start with at the beginning. You start with 3,000 money with a new dynasty. 3,000! That is so much money! I forgot you start with 3 grand. Oh, don't worry, I can find ways to spend it. I can 100% find ways to spend it. Maybe we can kick off your brain with a party to help you spend it. Maybe. That'd be nice, just spend all my money. Such a big coastal kingdom. If it has laser eyes, I mean, we're going to buy it. This is going to be Clarice rushing off to go buy it. Me. That'll be me. Having Clarice just rush off to buy all the crabs. Gotta get the whole collection. We will invest so much money into crabs. This might pay off. Now Tangy would just get a normal crab and then cover it in glitter. Non-hurty glitter, like magic glitter. I'm gonna put magic glitter on it. It's gonna make you the sparkle princess crab. And then it will be a sparkle princess crab. But it'd be magic glitter, so it's okay. Folks, in real life, don't put glitter on crabs. I feel like I need to mention this to you all. Do not adorn crabs with glitter. It doesn't end well for anyone. Least of all the crab. None of these sailing boats on the map ever get to where they need to be. They never get there. They just sort of sail here, sail there, they turn round. Just wait for them to turn around. There you go, there's one. One of them owns a large can of glitter. Yes! They all now involve glitter. I'm pretty sure that all of those boats are actually full of people that have got this notion that they quite like to sail the ocean. And now some people have something in their head and it's not going to go away now. You're welcome. To those that know, you know. You know. Ah! Sounds like someone here does not know. But some people do. No? Am I so old that I am the only one that knows? To be fair, it's an incredibly difficult thing to experience these days. It's very difficult to experience it these days. Yes, they did! They built it too big and they've run out of wood! Someone gets it! For they are not keen on sinking, so that's why they go into thinking that they simply can't leave until they get more wood. It's a reference to the video game Black and White. That's fine. Fair enough, Daffy. It's not going to matter in the end. Problem is, when I wait on that screen a lot, people then tell me to move on to the next screen, so... Have you noticed, by the way, that Defiance also starts at 1 for everyone? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that the counts and the patricians both have a 1, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 7? The chiefs are different in that they have a 3, a 7, and a 1, but their 7 is in military. The chiefs start with more military. The counts start with the most farming, and the patricians start with the most trade. This makes sense. It's alright, you're about to be very disgruntled in time. Hello, Hidden Cheeseburger. It's alright. We're gonna be fixing so much. We're going to be trying to fix ourselves for bankruptcy. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for bankruptcy. So we need to find every way that we can to achieve bankruptcy. So the first time we do stuff, these are all the schemes. Then it's building things. Don't you have to go through all 5 options? Nope, you can just get to 0 money. You can just get to 0 money. Funnily enough, just going bankrupt means you're bankrupt. We can absolutely manage going bankrupt. This is when we completely fail to go bankrupt. But I'll give it a go. Also, we actually get to see the Queen Mother in this one. More than the one time we've seen her in the past, like, 14 streams. Look at that little cloud going off on an adventure. I finished some painting today. Got the models... Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Got the models varnished yesterday. I'm really pleased with them. Maybe a little bit too much varnish on them, but varnish dulls over time, so that's fine. Well, the first time you tried to throw the game only to win, yep, that's true. Also, hey, you know what we're getting dangerously close to? That's right, being able to afford a table for me to eat at. We made some very nice progress towards it. But we're not quite there yet. We're getting close, though. And every little bit towards it does help. Then I can sit down and eat food, as opposed to... well, at a table, as opposed to sitting on a sofa. Without a table. I like sitting at tables. I like sitting at tables. I should push this keyboard back. I should lean back in my chair, too. 3,000 money. 3,000 money. Makes a lot of food easier to eat if you sit at a table. We've discovered many ways to lose. Many, many ways. But don't worry, folks. We can find more ways to lose. We can find more ways. All we need to do is throw money at every problem we can. Or we just have an event that costs 2,000. I have found many ways to accidentally win, this is true. No, it doesn't return egg, because if it accepted computer game money, I would just withdraw half of the money in Avataris and be fabulously wealthy. Like, if they accepted video game money, I would be rich. But the problem is, if that was the case, they would accept everyone's video game money, and so everyone would be rich, and so no one would be rich by comparison. Exactly. So suddenly, the key would be for just me to have lots of money. If I had lots of money, then I would be fantastically rich. But that is not something I can just make happen, sadly. I mean, I can make it happen in this game by just printing money. But, yeah. Enough about that. We need to focus on dealing with dynastic affairs. Like in a moment, getting started with the coronation. See, if somebody just, like, came over and dropped billions of dollars on me, I'm sure I could find a use for some of it. But again, fantasy. Reality is we're about to start the stream. Now that you're queen, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. The nobles all hail from across the kingdom, the wintry north, the desolate east, and of course the wealthy coast. A pleasure, your august majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Time for the chiefs. Good luck in the days ahead, your greatness. You'll need it with dealing with us lot. And the east. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, your highness. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And arguing. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. And now the coronation. Your Majesty, I have scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Of course, your Majesty, but to delay any longer would make the nobles restless. When the nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. Oh, you would want that, I suppose. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with, then. Shall we call the nobles in? Ooh, look! Lavish parade? That's 1,000 money immediately spent! Well, it's money instantly gone. That's 1/3 of our coin just wiped out. Kablow. I see people are trying to throw me in the river. Look, I'm trying to lose all my money here. A lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine. The coronation is a great success. Jugglers, wine, fireworks and feasts. It has an impact on your treasury, but of course, what doesn't? Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Clearly as the greatest queen who ever lived. I see, you're the type who likes to build lots of statues of yourself, aren't you? I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving your authority as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, your Majesty. Do you have a target failure? We're trying to go broke. That's our plan. Zavok of the Voronal Disney, notorious Eastern orator, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. My fellow counts, in ancient times, the East was its own proud kingdom, and my beard was equally pink. Wait, you've been around that long? Quiet! We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false queen, Clarice, wears the crown. Uprising, ascension, possession. Ascension? That's an interesting one. But it looks like we're going for Biffo. The Count plans to summon... Oh no, wait. The Count plans to summon a demon, Biffo, to possess the Queen, putting her totally under their control. First, they must lull the Queen to a false sense of security. We must lower the defiance to 4 or less in 2... Okay, that's interesting. Cyril of the Zevo Zerace family, eccentric former pirate, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. Fellow patrician to the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Clarice. Something must be done. Sorcery, intimidation, or corruption? Ooh. Oh. Well, sorcery might be going somewhere. Let's get the Coastal Wizard. We haven't seen the Coastal Wizard yet. This might be interesting. Sorry about the sniffle. The patricians plan to make a bargain with the wizard. These immortal spellcasters seldom get involved in political squabbles, but perhaps if the Queen was considered a threat to their autonomy. We must raise authority to 5 or more, well that's going to happen. Yarn of the Farsight 3 clan, eccentric northern hero, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam, droning on as if in a trance. Chiefs of the North! We all know that I should be on the throne, what was imposter Queen Clarice. How do we make that happen? Which one of these haven't we seen? We've seen Hornblower and we've seen Prophecy. We haven't seen Subterfuge. So these are all... We haven't seen the Wizard for the Grandees, we haven't seen Possession, and we haven't seen Subterfuge. Where are the Grandees and the Barons? Not here. Not here. Only 3 people voted. The chiefs plan to replace the Queen's close advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove the current advisors are doing a bad job. So that's their scheme. The chiefs must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Alright, laws of the land. Honestly, call for stability is the best one the call for unity is the best one I've got. The honor guard, missing bees. Missing bees? Your Highness, terrible news from the east. The bees have vanished. But my breakfast, honey. I fear it has wider implications than your breakfast, Your Majesty. We counts rely on the bees for our honey trade. But worse, in the east, bees are bringers of good fortune. We look after them, and they look after us. It's a grim omen indeed if they've deserted us. Our peasants are scared that we've offended the bees somehow. We must track them down. I mean, clearly. Well, actually, we're kind of wanting the game to go on for as long as possible so we go bankrupt. That's kind of what we want. Let's see what's happening. Bees come and go. Let nature take its course. Send messengers to investigate the other regions. Wow. The eastern beehives continue to languish, but the counts are grateful that the council takes the situation seriously. Messengers ready themselves to traverse the kingdom and find the bees. Surely it shouldn't be too hard to find such a huge swarm. You say that. Well, one evening you're sitting up in bed reading on paperwork when a filth-encrusted peasant wanders into your bedchambers bold as brass. Hello, your Madge. Glad I finally found you. This bloody place is a maze. Mind if I take a seat? Who are you? Oh, me. Name's Ralph, your Madge. Pleased to meet you. See, I've got a bloody good idea. What if gangrene could be cured with mouldy bread? I haven't tried it yet, but I've got a good feeling. Before Ralph could explain further, your marshal burst into the bedchamber, sword drawn. Your Majesty, I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. I have no idea where the Palace Watch are. Do you want me to kill this intruder? No, I want you to vote on his proposal. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. She goes and gathers up your council, who trickle into the hall in their pyjamas, rubbing sleep from their eyes. They don't look particularly pleased to be woken up. Oh! Oh! Okay! Fascinating! This is very interesting! So this one's actually good! That is remarkable! This is the one peasant with a good idea. Under Ralph's close supervision, injured Eastern soldiers eat mouldy bread to stave off infection. To everyone's surprise, it works! The Eastern military is soon fresh and healthy, and my new medicine is rolled out across the kingdom. The success of his idea notwithstanding, Your Majesty, if that peasant had been a maniac with a crossbow, I dread to think what could have happened. If one thing is clear from this mess, it's that you need an honor guard who can actually keep you safe, not like the pathetic watch. What just happened? We discovered penicillin. No, the Bird Knights have no chance, but penicillin does. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Tell me about the Northern Warriors. Bearded oafs with axes and no manners. They'll get drunk and cause trouble in the palace. No discipline at all, and I can't guarantee they won't run off on some random quest. But they're honourable, and in a fight, unbeatable. Yeah, if I spend 1,000 though, that makes it very difficult to spend more money later. I wait your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. Aren't you going to take the Northern Warriors? Or we take the foreign mercenaries. I will make the arrangements at once. The battle-bitten brethren arrive a few weeks later. You've never seen such a gang of huge, unpleasant-looking cutthroats, sneering and smirking and cleaning their fingernails with daggers. Your fears are assuaged by their commander, a grey-haired man who calmly explains the service they provide. As long as the coin doesn't run out, they'll sacrifice themselves to the last man on your behalf. It's alright, we're going for a bankruptcy ending anyway. Your Highness, our mutual friend Count Tinypots has discovered a nest of crawlers on the new tract of eastern farmland. Naturally, we chiefs recommended he fill the tunnels immediately, lest they spread to other regions and endanger our crops. But Tinypots refuses to do so. Peasants have gone missing, Your Highness. These crawlers are much more dangerous than they appear. Legends speak of crawlers living in great cities underneath the soil, taking the weak to be consumed. We should leave the land to them. They're not to be trifled with. Marshal, tell me about these crawlers. Horrible cow-sized worms that live under the earth, with tiny clackling legs like centipedes. They're rare but formidable foes. They turn up unpredictably and attack whenever they find... Well, they'll be fine before retreating back into the earth. Nothing that well-organized troops can't handle, I'm sure. I'll assemble the council then. Thank you, Your Majesty. We could send someone to investigate the tunnels. Or we could just fill in the holes and continue farming. Or we could abandon the fields to the crawlers. It'll be fine. Just let the crawlers have the field. No, no one's going to vote for that. We're going to send some poor schmuck in to die. I've missed the music for the counts. It's fantastic music. We shall send someone in. Very well, who will we send on this most unfortunate mission? We could send for a wizard. We should probably send soldiers, yeah. By the blood of the dead, your majesty, we'll sort this out. Just you watch. Unfortunately, your investigators drop off the face of Celeste Ath as soon as they leave on their journeys to the tunnels. Count Tinypots bides his time, but many peasants move away. Whoops. Well, not much we can do about that. Not much you can do about that. It's fine, it's fine, it's not fine. None of it's fine. Hey, but look! I have 0 defiance. This is not so good here, but... But hey, 0 defiance. Remember, you don't all have a lot of money this time. As Tiny Train starts to hoard all of their money. Like, I will spend nothing! So we can find... Ooh, no, we don't want to go broke this month. We want to go broke on this season. We want to go broke next season. That's what we want to do. We want to go broke next season. Yeah, that is wholly predictable that happened. Let us find a spouse. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, nobles, even the spymaster. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Dearie me, I look younger than you do. You've only been on the throne for 5 minutes. Oh, was it really that urgent? Of course! Don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? I don't care. Excellent. I'll send messages to the most influential noble families of the kingdom. Let's see if they have what they have to offer. A stinging problem. The messenger you sent to look for the Count's bees has returned, your majesty. We've discovered where they went. They've been seen in the north. Chief Advisor UT stamps in, his face swollen and covered with stings. Those darned Counts! I bet they sent those bees of theirs just to trouble us. Aren't you enjoying the honey? That's not how beekeeping works, your majesty. These bees aren't making honey. They're flying around and stinging my villagers. It's terrible. My old head's home. These bees must be destroyed. No one dares to go outside. Our markets are ruined. Dracov's bones. Those bees are our livelihood. If they're killed, they'll bring bad luck to all of us. Then you should have taken better care of them, shouldn't you? Oh boy! Oh boy! Hey, guess what? I'm vetoing that one. That one's a non-starter. We are not getting the church to help. I'm the church in the north. I'm one dude with a stick. But it's a slightly magical stick, because it was an old stick that was in the church that burned down 500 years ago. Yeah, that's me. I'm the entire priesthood in the north. They call me that guy with the stick. Sticky, for short. You could say I'm in a bit of a sticky predicament. Heh, bit of church humour there for you. I don't know what's actually funny. I've been stuck in this ruin of a castle church for 15 years. Please send someone to talk to me. Focus on luring the bees back to the east. Some chiefs grumble that they're not getting enough help from the crown. Their farmers resort to huge protective suits and hats, which hamper their work terribly. Meanwhile, the counts are grateful, but are desperate to figure out how to bring the bees back. Eastern folktales describe charms that can control bees. Hopefully the counts can find one before it's too late. Your Highness, I'm stunned, outraged, and incensed. I've been summoned to trial by the Inquisition on some nonsense fabricated charge. They're saying a group of church missionaries went missing near my lands. The weather's cold around here. Anything could have happened to them. No one dares defend me on their own. They're too scared of the High Inquisitor. Her trial is set, but the council must intervene, your majesty. Though she remained silent, the council was keenly aware of the High Inquisitor's steely gaze from across the chamber. We could search for a witness. That's a new look for the monarch. Could say, hey, you know what? New witness time. Look for a witness as we look to go bankrupt. I have a plan, don't worry. Do I have a plan? Maybe. Is part of that plan bumping up my stability even further? I should have gone for a stability ending. But we might get the treasury one. You distribute a proclamation among the chiefs asking for witnesses of Neo Nautilus's innocence. A northern villager eventually comes forward saying she saw the missionaries heading in the direction of the frozen lake near Neo Nautilus's estate. Indeed, they're soon found wandering aimlessly through the featureless tundra, completely lost and snowblind, but alive. With no dead missionaries, the High Inquisitor is forced to drop the charges and pay compensation to Neo Nautilus, who sends you a small gift. Thanks. Yay! Meanwhile, hidden in a labyrinth beneath an eastern castle, a pair of counts meet to speak of their schemes against the Queen. Queen Clarice trusts us counts more and more. Yesterday, we met for afternoon tea, and she even said she'd invest in our beekeepers. Tragically, even if the Queen trusts us, the Archbishop doesn't. For the next stage, you must lower your faith to 4 or less in 4 seasons. I mean, you're well on target for that. In the coast, Lord Patrician Ghidorah sits on a pier, watching the sharks swim lacy circles beneath his dangling feet. Suddenly the water begins to boil and froth. The sharks swim off in terror. A huge, shaggy figure rises from the sea. You wanted to meet me. Make it quick. A giant squid is fighting a sperm whale 30 miles from here, and I don't want to miss it. Hello, Scrampton. I thought we might have a common goal. The Queen has been overstepping her bounds recently, hasn't she? The Queen's Navy did anchor their ships over my favourite reef last month. Bloody annoying. Alright, I'll help you, but you better get rid of the bees first. Did you say bees? Yes, on this plane they're simple insects, but in the apiary, the world of dreams and magic, they're powerful and intelligent, call themselves the dreams of being. They have an innate fondness for royalty and sometimes protect monarchs from magical interference, but they won't harm non-magical folk beyond the occasional sting, so you can deal with them. He does have a crab claw hand, yeah? For the next stage of your scheme, you must lower all the farms regions to 14 or less in 4. Well, you're on target for that. I feel like leaving money exactly as it is, because 1,500 is a great number. It's very round. I'm just confirming. Right, eligible options. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 young candidate from each of the 3 kingdoms. What if I don't want to marry any of them? That's a decision that can wait until after you've seen them, isn't it? Your mother leads you to the Great Hall where she's arranged 3 portraits. Let's see them. Here's the first one. This is Magnus, firstborn of the Northern Shield of Hope clan. She's a typical northern lad, big, brawny and honest. In the same way an axe to the face is honest. Despite that, he's clearly got some brains. He's an avid reader with a vast library. People say he nurses a grudge, though. Then there is Xenia, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Urbis 83 dynasty. In her youth, she ran off and tried to join a circus. They found her in the end, thank the 9th. She's lost half the family fortune in the gambling halls, unfortunately. She's always planning something, they say. Schemes within schemes. And finally, from the coast, we have Clementine, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Tentretto's estate. She spends most of her time in the solitude of her villa, so I know little about her. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you gain a lifelong alliance. I have made my decision. We will marry Xenia of the East. Excellent. I'll make the arrangements. However, Count Daffy McBrain holds up a slat of wood, attached to it a length of string. When he swings it round his head, it makes a powerful buzzing noise. Look at this! It's a bee charm! We bought it from Wandering Druid. It's proven most effective at attracting bees back to the east. We can even control them to an extent. A blanket of eager bees is already covering the windows of the council hall. Is there a catch? None that we know of, Your Grace, though a druid charged us an arm and a leg. We're practically drowning in honey, and our crops are thriving. However, I petitioned the council for an investment to help us keep using the charm. It requires constant use, and my arm is starting to hurt. Besides, it would be a shame if the unfortunate swarm situation happened again. The nobles exchanged nervous glances. No one wants a plague of bees descending on their household. I mean, we could spend a lot of money. Just spend money. For the good of the kingdom, we must spend money. Spend 1,000. Then we have the rest of the year to go broke. Horrendously broke. We just need something that spends 500. And then we'll be fine. I can't pay, I have no money. Daffy McBrain receives your payment with an oily smile. True to their word, the counts do not use the charm against anyone. Yet. Instead, they focus on their own lands, building up even more honey stores and helping their fields flourish. Meanwhile, it's been many moons since we last heard from the soldiers we sent in the tunnels on Count Tinypot's land. We must act before this crawler menace spreads to the other regions. Peasants disappear in sinkholes, swallow villagers whole, while Tinypots hides in his castle and does nothing. Belligerent fool! Imagine their retaliation if we anger them directly. I would rather abandon my estate. We are too poor for this. Clearly, we must, Clearly we must gather the chiefs and fight them in the open fields. We must prepare for battle. We must fight them. Yeah. We stabbeth them with sticks. This has never gone wrong ever. This has completely gone wrong. It's a 50-50. A bloody battle ensues. The relentless crawlers inflict great casualties on the northern forces. The creatures are terrifyingly organized and completely ruthless. Still, you push them back into the holes whence they came. Celebration breaks out across the east. Oh! That was very unexpected! Up in the north, Chief the Average Tetsi is hosting a grand feast in their clan hall. The kingdom was supposed to be chaos by now. Chaos! Instead, everyone's getting along with each other. It's disgusting! Aye, we can hardly argue that the Queen's advisors are doing a bad job when the whole kingdom's turned into one big picnic. The Chief's aim is to lower stability to 4 or less. I mean... Sure? Alright, can we find a way to spend money? The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we can precious few options. You could get the bank loan, or sell the crown jewels, or perhaps crack open some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with piles of gold. We could just print more money. I mean, if we want to tank the kingdom, we should totally just print more money. I could. Print more money. The Royal Mint begins churning out new coins, allowing you to pay off several old debts. Nothing bad will happen because of this. It's not just not fair, Your Highness. The bee charm has given Count Daffy McBraid a monopoly on honey. A honeyopoly? The chiefs are just jealous that we made good use of a bad situation. Everything I'm doing is perfectly legal. I was the one who sought out the charm in the first place, to help you not get stung. But ever since you got hold of the charm, your bees have been making unnatural quantities of honey. It's not fair on honest business owners. We can't compete. We could pay for a prestigious royal honey for the palace. Come on, people. We need to spend this money. Prestigious honey. Prestigious honey. We want all the honey. We could call it, that honey that we spent 1,000 money on. The money honey! There we are! The money honey. I love it! I love it. We will pay for stuff. Spend all the coin! The Counts murmur in surprise, but agree. Soon, specially branded royal honey is shipped to the palace, becoming a famous delicacy. The Chancellor even serves it to foreign diplomats, who greatly approve of the delicate flavour and delicious sweetness. It makes negotiations much more pleasant. Your wedding to Xenia is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Xenia at your side. Do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Then I now pronounce you queen and wife. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new wife Xenia dances so vigorously that she spills wine all over herself. By the time you find yourself alone with Xenia, it's past midnight, you've never felt more tired. Good God, I'm yet another bride that is completely drunk. And somehow I'm not drunk enough. Time for more wine. Yeah, sure, more wine. Haha, it's the spirit. What did you think of the wedding? It was damn beautiful, wasn't it? I had a whale of a time. What do you do in your spare time? Oh, you know, drinking, gambling, having fun, basically. Oh, well, let's get this over with. No time like the present, eh? She swings back the last dregs of wine and leads you to bed. Guess what? Another Monday. Alright. Debt collection. Ooh. The council session is ended for the day, so you're quite surprised when Chief Linguistic Dragon corners you in a back passage of your castle just before dusk. Hello, Your Majesty. Apologies for surprising you like this, but I had an urgent matter that I thought you'd want to hear in private before I go to the council. Your wife, the Queen Consort, how can I put this? She owes me a lot of money. Gambling debts mainly. She borrowed quite a lot from me to recover some lost funds, but now it's time to collect, and she's been avoiding me. Just take the money and leave us alone. Chief Linguistic Dragon bows deeply. Many thanks, Your Majesty. I assure you, this money will not go to waste. Oh, and if you permit me a word of advice, you may wish to get a handle on your wife's reckless spending habits. Wouldn't want to run the kingdom into bankruptcy, would you? Actually, that's exactly what I want. What? Nothing. With that, he scurries away into the darkness of your corridors. Ah, Clarice, my heart, I have a proposition for you. I'm heading to a split tournament in a few months. It's one of the foremost in the kingdom. Want to join me? Excellent, I'll come watch you play. Most pleasing. I'm looking forward to it. Yep. I'm going to pay off all your gambling debts. Want to watch me gamble? Yes! The Royal Navy has stopped a ship in the harbour of Thalassus, Your Majesty. It's a merchant vessel from Dania. The crew have come down with some kind of plague. The captain refuses to go home, saying his crew need food and medical attention before offloading any cargo. That ship is carrying fine silks and rare dyes worth thousands. I don't care what happens to the crew. We need to secure those goods. Tell me more about this plague. The infected have high fevers, oozing pustules, uncontrollable vomiting. Sounds like creeping scourge, which bumped off half the kingdom a few centuries ago. Let's call a vote. Yeah, I'm gonna say... probably the smartest decision here. No, A sounds awful. If A sounds awful, I'm vetoing it. We are not doing that. He knows us too well. I have been playing this game with all of you for a very long time. I know when you're planning something. We have a 50% chance things are going to go awfully for the patricians here. This might still have expensive results down the line. The silks and dyes and silks are carried into port, much to Lord Patrician Nebuloscorp's satisfaction. The crew are left to wait out the infection on their ship. Fortunately, no plague is reported in Thalassus or anywhere else along the coast. 2 months later, the Navy board the quarantine ship and find nothing but corpses. Why is the kingdom doing so well? Oh wait, it's because we haven't done the thing yet. Hang on, if we have the bankruptcy thing happen... Oh, if we have the bankruptcy thing happen next season, we're gonna end up with a situation where we're gonna have money again. Oh no, we don't want that. But I think it will actually be the season after. So we're voting for farming down and stability down. Fair enough. That's to be expected. Oh, no. Faith down and stability down. Fair enough. Oh, we didn't have anything about that. Oh, that is so good. I think we'll be alright. I think we'll actually manage it. First, the split tournament. Xenia leads you inside Count Deus Phoenix's castle, up a winding staircase, into a stately gaming room filled with card tables. A goblet of wine is swiftly passed to you as someone takes your coat. So good to see you, Your Majesty. When Xenia told me you were coming, I almost didn't believe her. Xenia's first opponent will be Chief Linguistic Dragon, by the way. I hear he's pretty good at this. It gives you an appreciative smile. Deus Phoenix leads you to some benches near the edge of the room, where a number of other spectators are already sitting. Refreshments and snacks are handed around freely. I'm rooting for Chief Linguistic Dragon. He hasn't lost a game since 947. Oh, Mother of Mountains, Your Greatness. I didn't expect to see you here. I'd like to learn more about this game. Well, you've come to the right place. I'm sorry you didn't get an invite sooner. We have to be a little careful, you know. A church of a ninth can be a little, timid when it comes to gambling. Zihifas spends the next few minutes explaining the basis of a competitive split to you. Most of it goes over your head until he's interrupted. Most pleasing. Take that, you goit! Nay, axe of my ancestors, what's wrong with these darn cards? Whoa, Xenia won? Well, that was unexpected, but there's no way she beats Lord Patrician Nebula Scorm in the next round. Why not? Nebula Scorm is a true veteran. He's only been beaten once in the last circuit, by no more than Countess Gooberfish 6221. Gooberfish 6221 is a bit washed up nowadays, barely ever plays, just drinks a lot. But she still comes to all the tournaments. No one knows why. Will you excuse me, Your Majesty? I need to refill my drink, and I need to help my wife win at gambling. What do you want with me? I don't do lessons. Oh, Your Highness. What are you doing here? How did you beat Lord Patrician Nebula Scorm? Let me guess, you want to take him down a peg? I can help you get back at that coit if that's what you want. And since you're on good terms with the East, I'll do it for free. Teach that smug Lord Patrician a lesson. Woohoo! Don't even have to pay! The thing is, everyone knows that Nebula Scorm plays aggressively. He'll bet high and bet quickly. Everyone loses because they try to outlast him. The only way to win is to beat him at his own game. Play even more aggressively. Obviously, you still need to be a good player to do that. Don't think it will be easy. Find your wife and pass on the advice. You did what? Ha! That's brilliant! I can't wait to see what look on Nebula Scorm's face when I beat him. Thank you, Clarice. This means a lot. I should get going. My match is about to start. You find your seat near the next table, where Xenia is setting up to play against Lord Patrician Nebula Scorm. Zihifas joins you once again, his cup refilled. You don't think you can beat me, do you? We'll see soon enough. Watch the match. The game goes by in a blur. Lord Patrician Nebula Scorm is aggressive indeed, and Xenia just can't keep up, even when she's expecting it. It's a matter of minutes before she is forced to concede defeat. Better luck next time, my good queen consort. Well, I suppose that's it. I've been knocked out, but at least I put up a good showing. You did wonderfully, my love. There's no need to sugarcoat it. I played terribly. What's done is done, eh? You and Xenia stayed to watch the finale before heading back to the capital. You didn't win anything, but at least you spent some quality time with your wife. The crawlers are back. Your Highness, we're losing contact with villages all across the east. Crops are going up in flames and no one knows who's to blame. That's not all. Sinkholes have opened up all across coastal trading routes. Caravans are going missing everywhere, and prominent patricians are being abducted. We have our own problems too, Your Greatness. There's beasties in the fields stealing our crops and driving the local wildlife mad. I've never seen anything like it. It's the work of the crawlers, Your Majesty. I thought this was over. I warned you, did I not? These crawlers are not simple worms. I've been researching. They are called Varga. They are terrible, ancient creatures of a noble intellect who have existed since before the kingdom itself. You cannot fight them. Unite the kingdom to fight back as one. We must be united, everyone. I know you hate me. But if we fall, everyone falls. The one time the team works together. This will probably lead to a horrendous defeat. But we should totally do this. Based on Defiance, we're all pretty okay with you. It would seem so. Amazingly. How goes it? We're trying to go bankrupt. We don't know how well it's going. Don't worry, I'm going to destabilize the kingdom. Unite the kingdom and fight as one. You pass a series of edicts aiming to unite everyone against this threat. But how best to fight this unknowable enemy? Oh, with the mind, obviously. You pour your resources into finding a clever solution to this problem. It's clear that brute force won't win this war. Qualer scholars work for triple pay every hour of every day, while you buy rare herbs, gems, armor-piercing weapons, lucky charms, and Archimedean contraptions from anyone who will sell them to you. Just as all hope is lost, a breakthrough is made! Oh my word, we got a 20% chance! Look at that dice rolling! Look at it! Behold, the Sonic Disruptor. This device will project a hypersonic frequency that interferes with the Valga's communication, and never mind all that. All that matters is, will it work? Oh, absolutely! We've tested it on captured specimens, and the results were very conclusive. I think we need more than one. Yes, but if the kingdom is dedicated, then we could turn all our resources towards developing a proper arsenal. Sonic disruptors are deployed to the front lines once a stockpile has been created and to great effect. They cause the Valga great pain, providing safe bubbles for your cities and troop columns. Eventually, it becomes clear that your enemy no longer thinks it's worth fighting anymore and disappears back into their sinkholes. Ninth willing, they will never be seen again. It will take time to rebuild what you lost. You can only hope that no one draws the ire of these creatures again. Yay! Yet we lost no farming. Yep, your marriage to Xenia has leaped from strength to strength over the past few months. Truly, you found your soulmate, and every day you count your blessings. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. I'm happy, thank you. Your happiness is as important as fulfilling your duty to the kingdom, but I'm glad you found a way to have both. You've done so well, but something's still missing. An heir. You need someone young. It's alright, we'll have a child. If we survive long enough. The traditional method. No one will object to that. I'll arrange for you to take a few months off so you can get down to business. It's okay. We have a plan. The Count rides into a remote and remarkable spot of moorland. Soon another joins him. Unfortunately, my peasants are getting dreadfully devout. We're in no state to make a move against the Queen. It's far too dangerous. The High Inquisitor will pounce as soon as we do anything. The Count's aim is to lower faith to 4 or less. Meanwhile, along the coast, Lord Patrician Ghidorah is visiting the wizard Scrampton in its cliffside tower, built of knotted coral and sea leaves. The Dream Queen still rule over the apiary, as powerful as ever. You've failed me. Please, just give me a few more months. By the 9th, I won't let you down. Cease your whining. Just get it done or I'll grow barnacles on your bones. The Patrician's aim is to lower all regions, combined farming to 14 or less. I mean, clearly I need to give you all horrendous bribes, so that we have even less money. Would you like money, everyone? Actually, to be fair, I should probably just do this. I should probably just do that. We'll be spending a lot of money anyway. Don't worry, we'll be spending money. But money! Oh boy, hyperinflation! Don't worry. Your Majesty, there is a petitioner here to see you today. We're not exactly sure where she's from. I assume you have a good reason for letting her in. You'll see soon enough, Your Majesty. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am Orid. I have a proposition for you. Where are you from? Distant shores, Your Majesty. I prefer to keep my exact origins a secret. Who are you exactly? I am but a humble ship's captain, one of great renown, but that is a different time. Not a pirate, then? No, Your Majesty. I would never would I countenance the thought. Tell me more about your proposition. 3 ships are docked in the harbour to the west. Their holds are packed to the gills with muskets and gunpowder, and they each boast a full battery of cannons. They are yours in return for a small favour. Muskets, the small fairy animals? Muskets are powerful weapons, Your Majesty. The secrets of their manufacture are known only in the Republic of Kurth. What would I do with muskets? Outfit your armies with them, Your Majesty. They are powerful weapons, enough to give you an edge over your enemies. And what is this favour? I only wish to stay in this kingdom with your blessing and protection. I can show your soldiers how to use the weapons, of course, to avoid any accidents. Alright, what you do. I don't know what you mean, Your Majesty. I simply wish to keep my dealings private. You will forgive me, I hope. Any of these are fine, but not that. I'll be back in a moment. Well, that was a thing. Provide safe harbour for Orid in exchange for muskets. Orid and her weapons prove most useful in the coming months. She and her crew train your officers as promised. Orid demonstrates by puncturing a metal breastplate at 500 yards. The council clearly made the right decision. Meanwhile, the Crystal Pox. Your August Majesty, I bring unfortunate tidings. An outbreak of Crystal Pox is ravaging the coast. What's that? A most terrible disease, Your August Majesty. It begins with a rash of boils, which slowly and painfully crystallize until the poor victim is sparkling like a diamond. Eventually, the sufferer becomes a crystalline statue. A painful, but admittedly glamorous way to go. How many are dead? Whole villages have succumbed. The disease is terribly virulent. Your Majesty, if I may make a suggestion, victims of Crystal Pox are only infectious at the boil stage. Once they're covered in crystals, they no longer spread the disease. Indeed, the pox crystals can be harvested and used in jewellery. If we allowed the pox to spread, we could make money in the coast. By the night, woman, that is heartless even for you! The only way to fight the pox is to close the roads and shut down all trade until the wave subsides. Is that what you want? For the coast to lose money? Well... gotta be honest, all of these are bad. But if we quarantine the coast to prevent further spread... yeah. If we quarantine... we can, you know, it'll all be irrelevant because we're totally gonna go broke in a moment. Please say we're actually gonna go broke. I'm desperately trying to get the bankruptcy ending. This kingdom is going incredibly well, but I will completely scupper it for the bankruptcy ending. Then getting like 0 stability would be easy. Also, we are incredibly stable. Like, I could probably coast to victory with this. But blockades are placed on the coast, or the roads leading in and out of the coast. Nobody goes in or out. For a month, the Crystal Pox ravages the countryside. When the blockade is lifted, many fields lie fallow and the farms left to tend them. Coastal villages are dotted with the gleaming statues of the afflicted, but thanks to the council's quick thinking, the disease doesn't spread beyond the coast's borders. Once the roads open up, the patricians harvest gemstones to quarantine dead and sell them at a tidy profit. Meanwhile, as you ordered, Your Majesty, the Royal Mint has churned out thousands of gold coins, new coins to using cheap gold-like metals. The treasury is technically replenished. My genius is almost frightening, but it's also devaluing the currency across the kingdom. A loaf of bread now costs 100 times what it used to. Something must be done. If this gets worse, our currency will be worthless. I mean, obviously the solution is... all of these are gonna do it. All of them are gonna do it. All of them. We get to 0 regardless. I think we've done it. We shall adopt an entirely new currency and declare the old one illegitimate. Hooray, we lose! Wait. This... have we actually done it? Have we actually managed to attain a 0 money ending? Please say we managed to attain a 0 money ending. Wait, 0 hurts us too! That it does. I don't think... I think it will just be you have no money, that's it. Predictably enough, absolutely everyone, from the lowest peasant to the highest noble, is outraged to find their money is suddenly worthless. The resulting chaos makes buybacks difficult and fraud is rampant. Riots consume every major city. Note we've gone from, like, serene to just civil. Along the coast, Lord Patrician Ghidorah is visiting the wizard Scrampton in his cliffside tower, built of knotted coral and seashells. Your side of the bargain is complete. The dreams of being are no longer a threat. Their palace stand empty. Why, thanks, great wizard. Now shall we discuss how to overthrow his troublesome queen? Curse her with a fate worse than death, or send her far away so she can never return. You're probably more likely to raise stability than you are to raise trade. If I were to be so bold. Also, it's an incredibly... yeah, but face worse than death. I mean, being sent far away to nowhere is amazing too. Oh, it's a tie. Oh, no, it's not a tie. Curse her with a fate worse than death. Worse than death? Well, it can be done, but we're requiring an additional fee. Gold enough to sink a galleon, perhaps. That's a good start. Death's below. I thought we'd already sealed the deal. No, something you should learn. Dealing with wizards is a tricky business. Now get me that gold. For the final stage, you must raise trade to at least 6. I feel like the royal gamble might be a good one to have. However, we're bankrupt. Here it is. She holds up a single gleaming coin. What's this? The treasury, in its entirety. There's nothing left, Your Majesty. You're broke. Have you looked under the throne cushions? This is no laughing matter, Your Majesty. Outside the palace, something rumbles, like thunder. I can see where this is going. The soldiers in your armies, even the city watch, none of them have been paid in months. They're marching on the capital. You better grab your things, Your Majesty. I am running away like a coward. You run out of the stable, saddle the horse, and gallop through the streets as fast as you can with nothing but the clothes in your back and a single gold coin. Behind you, the soldiers overwhelm the remaining loyal staff and loot the palace. You urge your horse onwards, leaping over fountains and crashing through market stalls. This is just a temporary setback. You'll see out the rest of your reign in exile, slowly gathering support to reclaim your throne. It'll be hard work, yes, but you're sure you can do it. You're Queen Clarice. You can do anything. You're not looking where you're going. You run headfirst into a low-hanging sign, knocking you off your horse and dashing your brains out all over the cobblestones. Having left no heir, it's up to the nobles to vote for your successor along the claimants. You only hope they will keep the kingdom more stable than you did. Well, there we go! That was an incredibly quick bankruptcy! Look at the kingdom I've left you to inherit! It's a mess! I wonder why the chiefs aren't in the voting for this. we go. The next monarch will be Cyril. Because we haven't made it... Oh, that's true. Out of money and facing an uprising by her own soldiers, Queen Clarice fled the capital only to dash her brains out on a low-hanging sign. Shortly after Queen Clarice's reign ended, the Inquisitors raided Count Deus Felix's castle and placed him under arrest for evil magic. As he burned, he screamed the secret name of the seventh god. The chief's attempt to replace the Queen's advisors never panned out. One night, Chief the Average Tedsy awoke to find a smiling spymaster holding a knife to their throat and kindly asking them to desist. The patricians leapt in the power vacuum left by Queen Clarice's death, and Cyril took the crown with the council's blessing. All this over a sandwich. Queen Clarice the Stern. 2 years it took to go bankrupt. Just 2. The wealthiest noble is linguistic, and practically everyone else is poor. This is the kingdom you're inheriting that, oh boy, is about to be so unstable it's not even funny. We've done the authority failure. We've done the money failure. Now it's time to do the stability failure. Yay, I'm rich! Comparatively. Note, I literally had to... If I hadn't have forced it with the, with taking the printing more money, I could have easily won that one, is the sad point. I was working to fail, but actually succeeding. Why is it that when I work to fail, I do well? But why? You want to see all the zeros? Well, there are not actually that many zeros. Why is the coronation taking... Oh, the coronation is taking... Oh! The coronation is taking place here because it's a patrician one. Oh no, don't worry, I can make it fail. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from Queen Clarice, but you still must answer to the council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens to your coronation. But this is my coronation! This isn't an absolute monarchy, Your Majesty. Everything has to be run past a council vote, even this. Shall we call the nobles in? Right. The patricians will soothe over any bad feelings with bribes. Hey, do you like money? 'Cause we've got money. Just like, no. But I'm going for the lose stability ending, everyone. I want the kingdom to erupt into flames. Copious flames. Oh. You're just making it harder. It's decided then. The monarch will be thrown in the river. Let me get changed out of my nice robes. And thus we were yeeted into the river. Have we zeroed on authority before? Yes. We've done authority. We've done treasury. Now stability is next. We did it. By the 9th, we've had to pull some strings, but we got you that crown. Just as I said we would. Now just remember to uphold your end of the deal. You're not really a monarch, more like an employee of the patricians. What the coast wants, the coast gets. Spoken like a true and loyal servant. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you here. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. May I recommend not spending all the money. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Majesty. You'll need it with us trying to bring about Ragnarok. What do you think? Will they be a good little monarch and do as they're told? Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Your Majesty, the history books do not look kindly upon usurpers, unless of course they prove themselves worthy of the throne they've stolen. When you die, how will the kingdom hope to remember you? As, Yes. Conqueror, obviously. A warrior monarch is sure to be remembered fondly, if they win more battles than they lose. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's military as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Don't worry, I'm going to be sabotaging myself. You don't need to do that. I will sabotage myself because I'm going for 0 stability. Marcella of the Urbis 83 dynasty, legendary Eastern elder, leans delicately on a podium, whistling carefully. My fellow counts, in ancient times we ruled the kingdom, blah blah blah, I have a veil, blah blah blah, vampires and bees, blah blah blah. Sorcery, subterfuge, or doppelganger. It's a fantastic look. Vampire bees, the worst kind of bees. Cav is alerted at the sound of vampire bees. Looks like we're going for Biffo. The Count's plan to swap the real monarch for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of a spy master. Right, keep defiance low. However, Livia of the Ziggy-Zaff family, powerful navy admiral, scribbles on a with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. How very cunning of us. Cyril now sits on the throne, and the patricians are in charge, but the other regions will already be scheming to depose them. Do we stay loyal to the new monarch, or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Oh yeah, we did try to not pay them. It didn't work out. Oh, it would seem you're all going against me. Well, that makes it even easier. Lower treasury. They're like, nope, forget this person. Indeed, Monarch Cyril is a patrician after all, and everyone knows never to trust a patrician. They're probably planning to betray us already. The patricians plan to sink the monarch under an ocean of debt. To advance their scheme, they must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 3 seasons. Gunhild of the Mindstorm clan, eccentric northern hero, stands precariously on a longhouse crossbeam. I like shouting! Uprising, intimidation, or prophecy? Yeah, never try to double-cross a wizard. It does not end well. It does not. We've already seen prophecy, I think. That said... Uprising! Well, that's going to counter everything. We want one to lower treasury and one to raise treasury. The chiefs plan to incite a peasant uprising to overthrow the monarch before swooping in to steal the crown for themselves. Right, so I need to keep treasury above 1,500, but below 2,000. Alright. Cool. Your distant cousin, your honor guard, Miss... What happened to the bees again? Really? The bees? Your Highness, the bees are gone again! All the bees? But you had a charm! All of them, all across the east. We can't rely on the bees for our honey trade. But worse, really, we lost it. We don't know where the charm is. I think we might have sold it in a garage sale somewhere. We must find the bees! Well, you know what? Clearly, No! No, I don't care about the bees anymore. I say we just let it be. You better believe I'm not gonna look for them. This is gonna become a trend. God, if I don't behave... Ah! Ha! As the eastern beehives languish empty, eastern peasants start sewing bee emblems on their shirts in a vain effort to bring them back. Still, the other nobles profit from the situation. The counts had quite the monopoly on honey, and this has given them a chance to get in on the market. Fear grows more and more amongst the counts, who complain that the crown cares nothing for their troubles. I'll be fine. Your Majesty, I have a matter of some delicacy to speak to you about. Good day, cousin. How's the old kingdom going, eh? I always thought it took a bit of work, but I suppose you get a fancy hat. Lord Fizzlebart is your very, very distant cousin, about 15th in line to the throne. You haven't seen him in years. Cousin, why are you dressed like that? Quite the dashing figure, aren't I? Had to borrow a few bits from Chief Shield of Hope after a donkey chewed through my coat. Lord Fizzlebart's been staying at my estate for the last year, your Majesty, but unfortunately there's been some financial implications. He's been borrowing money from me for months, saying he'll pay me back when the luck turns, but now my coffers are bare. Yes, poor Shield of Hope couldn't even afford a little banquet to see me off. I'm sorry it's come to this, but I must petition the court for funds, your highness. Clearly, we're not paying them. It's your choice whether you want Fizzlebart to become my problem, or everyone's problem. You're not decided. You're like, my problem or the king's or the queen's problem? Really not decided. Chief Shield of Hope quickly sent a wagon of Lord Fizzlebart's belongings to the capital. It contains prodigious amounts of clothing, playing cards, fine medium porcelain, and a bassoon. Your cousin will neither explain the bassoon's presence nor play it for anyone, and sets himself up very comfortably in a disused wing of the palace. One day you're walking through the palace and you're confronted by an unusual sight. One of your palace guard is standing guard, but instead of a pike he's holding a mop. The seven hells is that? An improvised polearm? Last week a grubby urchin kicked me in the shins and stole my proper pike. I grabbed her first replacement I could find. You're an idiot. Some might praise me for my resourcefulness. I can only apologise, your majesty. The palace watch have been more incompetent than usual recently. It's obvious you need a proper honor guard to protect you. But first, how can we improve the watch? Enforce harsher discipline, everyone! Harsher discipline! If we shout really loudly at them, that'll solve the problem. Shouting solves all problems, except all the problems it doesn't solve, which is all of them. There you go. We have a new quote. Vote ah! Force harsher discipline. A punishing exercise regime works wonders on your watch's abs, though you're not sure about their morale. If one thing is clear from this mess is that you need an honor guard who can actually keep you safe, not like these kittens. Think carefully, your majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'll be loyal to coin above all. Of course, you'll be taking the gladiators, your majesty. None of the other options are half as muscly. I have made my decision. I wait your verdict with bated breath, your majesty. The Eastern Knights, let's go! Death's below, your august majesty. How could you choose them, but you want their defiance to be high? Yeah, but also the Eastern Knights are funny. I'll make the arrangements at once. The knights arrive a few weeks later. They're all extremely pale and extremely polite. Their commander introduced themselves to the florid bow before reading out a poem she's written for the occasion. Yes, but they have poetry. Oh, raise stability? Ooh, we don't want that. We don't want to raise stability, we want to lower stability. I mean, we could raise military too, I suppose. Why not? Opt out of actually spend. Yeah, you could just not spend any money. You could just not fund anything. I mean, let's be blunt here. I'm not going for a military victory here. So if you vote to lower military, you're just sabotaging the patricians. Like, voting E and voting F just means nothing happens. Which is hilarious. I'll take it. I'll take nothing happening. Except something does happen because the chief snuck in there with +1 faith. Ah, I think we found the bees. Having ignored the bee trouble in the east, you've practically forgotten about the situation. Until Lord Patrician Ghidorah stamps in, his face swollen and covered in stings. Those damned Celts! I get those bees! They sent them to trouble us! I would have wondered what was going on with your face. Yes, it's terrible! By the night they must be destroyed! Seventh, take us! Those bees are our livelihood! If they're killed, they'll bring bad luck to us all! You should have taken better care of them, shouldn't you? I mean, clearly, we must get the church to heal the peasants. Obviously, faith is totally going to save the problem, right? Maybe we got a 20% earlier. We could totally get another really good result here. We're not going to get a good result here. It's all going to go horribly wrong. It's all going to go terribly wrong. But you know what's not going to go wrong? Just wait for it. You know what's not going to go wrong? The fact that I have a throne wish list where I'm going for a table and chairs so I can sit and eat food. See what I did there? Lord Patrician Ghidorah looks pleased and bows, hurrying away to summon some priests. Not every priest is happy about risk of stinging, but enough attend to the peasants to get them in better shape for work. Soon the markets have returned to normal. Oh. Cool! Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. No! Are you sure, Your Majesty? The nobles will be most upset. Surely it behooves you. No! Very well, Your Majesty. I will speak no more of this marriage. But why? I want to party! I see. Far be it from me to question the monarch. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Majesty. You'll need it. But what about the bees? What about the bees? Your Majesty, Your Majesty! You never guess what arrived today. What is it now? I've decided to set up an outdoor salon here on Palace grounds. That's the sort of thing that's done in the capital, yes? Philosophers, thinkers, the best and brightest will flock here for civilized discussion and delicious food. Anyway, the tents have arrived today, and the silverware, and the menagerie. Menagerie? Peacocks, doves, a few water deer, that'll give us more to discuss. So you'll allow it, won't you? It'll be so much fun! Stop this. Now. This is an outrage! How can a monarch treat their own flesh and blood in such a dreadful way? I'm leaving the capital today! I can't stay a minute longer! You do not hear from him after he leaves. Perhaps this bodes well? Inside a smoky northern clan hall buried in snow, Chief Zahefus paces up and down the length of the room, his brow furrowed in confusion, in frustration. It's not enough. The common folk couldn't care less about the monarch or their hoarded wealth. How are we supposed to incite an uprising in this climate? We should start by ensuring the monarch actually has some money to flaunt. A shame the monarch seems determined to be destitute. Perhaps they're just really bad with money? What happened to your moustache? You got rid of it. Oh no! By the way, we now have the sweet spot of money. Sweet spot. I've held them off as long as I can, Your Majesty, but Chiefling Dusting Dragon insists on an audience. Apparently concerns the end of the world, though privately I think he's gone off the deep end. We've not much time, Your Highness. Let me present to you my grand theory, what I call the general model. Okay. First off, your outrageous cruelty towards your own cousin. A manufactured spectacle meant to distract and confuse, but I saw through it immediately. While everyone focuses on that, frog people from the coast scheme to take the throne and usurp the monarch. Straightforward from here. The frog people, led by patrician Livia, manipulate the kingdom's trade, farming, military, and faith to achieve their nefarious goals. If they succeed, Livia will take the throne, plunging the kingdom into a reign of amphibious terror, mandatory pond spawning and fly eating. Do you like eating bugs, Your Majesty? The only question is, what will you do about it? Alright folks, hear me out. We are going to do absolutely nothing. Let us do nothing. Because if this is a conspiracy that is false, nothing happens. If it's a conspiracy that is true, this will be the most hilarious game over we've ever seen. Daffy's like, arrest him. What did Chief Linguistics vote, by the way? Chief Linguistics did not vote. Go teach a class what Kiko streams. Oh. Oh, of course you ignore me. This fits right into my model. The rot goes all the way to the top. Before he could continue, the powers watched yank him away with enthusiasm, throwing him out the council hall and closing the door. The rest of the chiefs are also relieved, sighing as if a rotten tooth has just been extracted. Still, the public airing of your misdeeds puts a dent in your image. Your esteemed highness, some good news from the coast about the bee problem. The priests are making up herbal ointments for treating stings, and they think they've discovered some new antivenom that's even more effective, but we don't have enough to test it properly. I mean, clearly, the coastal church is on its own on this one. Come on, church! Use magic! The power of magic will ensure that everything goes great and wonderful. We need more votes on B. We'll go great and wonderful. Come on, people, more votes on B. You misread A. Yeah, you probably did. But that's alright. And then someone voted C. Alright, if you want the counts to go, the patricians to go on to their second phase of the scheme. Oh yeah, voting's tied at 8. Oh! Oh, Exum there. Snuck in. The church is on its own on this one. Without a royal blessing, the research doesn't go very far. The peasants don't trust their priests enough to test an unknown remedy. Even when the patricians throw money at the problem, the anti-venom project quickly fizzles out. Greedy coastal merchants taking advantage of cheap eastern labour, Your Grace, exploiting our natural resources and putting our trading companies out of business. They're vultures. Vultures! Is it really such a problem? It's just business. I mean, I ain't letting that one happen. If I spend... See, this monarch has been burnt by the previous monarch going broke. And so is now spending no money. They're spending no money at all. It's like, we gotta keep this sweet spot on money and just leave it there forever. An utter travesty. I should have known better than to accept the council to be worth anything. Marvellous! My companies are safe. Glad this council sees sense for once. The coastal companies in the east continue to tick over nicely, siphoning money out of the region and making noble British and Thriftland filthy rich. In a dingy seaside tavern, two patricians of the coast meet to plot their latest scheme. The treasury's not empty. The monarch won't be tempted by our loan offers. Maybe we could arrange some kind of heist? Don't get ahead of yourself, Lord Patrician. This coup will be conducted entirely within the bounds of the law. We have our principles, after all. Oh! Okay, I can start bribing you with money now to do silly things. Your cousin is back. Oh no. The spymaster strolls into the library while you're reading, dragging your cousin Fitzalbert by the scruff of the neck. A moment, your majesty. Who's this? Oh, what happened? Lord Fitzalbert wriggles half-heartedly with a sulky scowl. I have intercepted a number of threatening letters from your cousin, your majesty. Nothing of concern, but recently he hired an assassin against you. A very poor one at that. I haven't seen any assassin. The spymaster smiles. No, you haven't. You've treated me dreadfully. Why shouldn't I move against you? The so-called assassin was nothing but an amateur. Frankly, I'm amazed he didn't trip over and stab himself before I got the chance. Your cousin's actions raise concerns. Clearly, we must imprison Lord Fitzalbert. Imprison him. Nothing bad will happen if we imprison Lord Fitzalbert. Everything bad will happen if we imprison Lord Fitzalbert. Everything. If he tried to murder me, then throw him in prison. Will this lower our stability to 0? That would be hilarious. Lord Fitzalbert is hauled away to the dungeon, shouting about injustice. The story spreads, getting wilder as it goes. Soon rumour has it that you tortured and killed him for talking back to you at dinner. At least your cousin is out of your hair now. You need think of him no more. Your Majesty, we may have a problem in the north, though I'm not sure how much of a problem yet. Of course you have a problem. Have you seen the north recently? Yes, the place is a mess, but here's a new wrinkle. What I know is this, the north is in the middle of a famine. The peasants are starving in their hovels. Even the chiefs are eating bread and drinking water. But Chief Linguistic Dragon is an exception. He's one of the wealthiest nobles in the north, and he's been importing corn from Tavlin in huge quantities. He's distributing it among the peasants for free. The common folk now love him as a result. All across the north, peasants are comparing Chief Linguistic to their monarch. The comparison is unflattering to you. I don't know if Chief Linguistic intends for this to happen, but the common folk, and even some of the soldiers, are talking about rising up and putting him on the throne. But that's where I sit! Indeed it is, Your Highness. What do you suggest I do? Order him to stop distributing food. It's harsh, but it'll nip it in the bud. Or you could use your own funds to mount a relief effort that makes it look piddly in comparison. Of course, we need council approval either way. I will just let him keep going. Chief Linguistic continues to distribute corn from Tavlin. The peasants, no longer on the brink of starvation, can focus on ploughing the fields. Meanwhile, even the nobles gossip about how Chief Linguistic succeeded where the monarch failed. Your Grace, I bring bad news from the east. We're receiving reports of... I'm sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings from the north to demand the monarch's attention at once. Wait your turn, you arrogant dolt. Why don't you settle your quarrels outside? Meanwhile, I have news from the court that's really urgent. Shut up! Shut up! The Eastern courts are corrupt, Your Highness. Judges are letting off the vilest criminals who would have the slightest bit of coin. Is that all? By the old gods, the north is increasingly lawless, your greatness. Some chiefs have taken advantage, declaring themselves independent of your rule. The news is worse still. The industries of the coast are in grave danger. The workers are striking. They demand fewer hours and higher pay. All these problems have arisen because the kingdom is increasingly unstable, your majesty. Something must be done. We're doomed! Doomed! Keep a clear head. The kingdom has survived worse troubles. Fortunately, we lack the resources to tackle all these problems. We must vote on what to prioritise. Oh, we have to improve something. Erg. Well, we must reform the Eastern Courts. There's money in it for you all. Biffo might actually get dangerously close to succeeding. Betrayed! I know. I could use some money. Well, now you have trade. The corrupt Eastern judges are stubborn. When you try to remove them from their posts, they retaliate by enforcing all the old forgotten laws that everyone's agreed to ignore. Suddenly, merchants are legally required to wear blindfolds on weekends, and every coin must be passed under the nose of a cat before it's spent. Trade grinds to a halt. Once the stupid old laws are repealed, you enact crucial legal reforms. No more corruption in the East, or at least less of it. The crisis in the East has been quashed, making the kingdom as a whole slightly more stable. But the nobles in other regions feel you're ignoring their problems. It's kind of because we are. Far in the east, Count Daffy is hosting a dinner. You said you had a surprise for me? Indeed, and here it is. Behold! Your Grace! What are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry, I didn't overhear any. Ho-ho, quit babbling. This is Biffo. The legendary Biffo? The very same. Biffo the 24th. Blood and stars, and just in time. The spy master trusts us. We move to our next phase, kidnapping the monarch and putting this fool in their place. How do we manage that? We need the kingdom to be in utter chaos. Bad enough the monarch's abduction could slip past unnoticed. Hey look! Stability's actually low enough! Now I must make it worse! Your Majesty, mass unemployment and unrest have arisen in the East. Businesses are going bankrupt. Mills shutting down. People are calling it the Great Depression because it's making everyone miserable. Yes, my investments have all gone up in smoke, and it's the same as all the other counts. We must find a way to lift the East out of poverty. Or, hear me out, folks. Tell the peasants to stop buying so much turnip toast. Oh boy, is that topical. Come on, people. We want to tank our stability. The East, ironically, wants this. Stop buying turnip toast, peasants. Just stop. Reduce our trade from 0 to even more 0. -0. Turnip toast. That's it. That's the problem. The peasants are just buying too much turnip toast. They should learn how to manage their budgets. That's what the council agrees anyway. With much backslapping and laughter. It makes everyone feel much better. Unfortunately, it doesn't solve anything, and industries continue to collapse in the East, with knock-on effects on their trade partners across the rest of the kingdom. Next council session, no one's laughing. Okay, can we lower stability even further? Your Grace, a forest on my land has been completely overrun by giant spiders. Some are as big as horses. The trees are shrouded in webs, and travellers are going missing. You must put a stop to it. Giant spiders are Oh, nothing here reduces stability. But we can prevent that. Giant spiders are indeed no joke. This is true. A rebellion would do the trick. If someone rebels against us, then we get a lowering of our stability. Oh! That'd do it. No, actually it wouldn't. If stability 0 happens, the stability ending occurs. Eastern troops sweep into the Shrouded Woods, hacking down webs and killing any 8-legged creatures they come across. But it doesn't go well, because of course it doesn't. The spiders strike from the shadows, dragging soldiers off to their doom. By the time the troops return, they've taken heavy losses and survivors are deeply traumatized. This is hopeless! The spiders are more numerous than ever, and now my peasants are too afraid to leave their villages. You said your chancellor to Quell University. Perhaps they can figure out some idea for you how... Yep, we did it! Anarchy! Your Majesty, I was going through the history books and found the most interesting tidbit. During the reign of Queen Iga, they held a huge parade in honour of the nobles regions coming together. It was called the Day of Kinship. I don't know about that. But Your Majesty, it sounds delightful. I hear it made things more harmonious across the kingdom too. I suggest we reinstate it. I don't think we got the funds. Or the time. Maybe we could hold a small party in the royal palace then? Just something to recognise the achievements? Oh, that would be lovely. I'll arrange the food. Wait, are you all just wanting a party? No? We've never been in the same room together. It'll be most pleasant. What do you say, Your Majesty? Oh, fine. Wonderful! I'll ask the spy master to sort out the invitations. The two of you hurry away, deep in conversation. There will never be a party! Okay, people, don't vote for D. Please don't vote for D. I want the stability ending. I want true anarchy. Don't. I literally want the anarchy ending. Don't do it. Someone voted 1 on D. I saw you. We're going for as many catastrophic failures as possible. What on earth am I watching here? Catastrophic failure! That's what we're watching! I try so hard to avoid all of this content, I decided I would show you this content through failure. We're going to see many bad endings. Many bad endings! I was very worried that one would go through. All is lost! Over the last week, the kingdom has fallen apart. Gripped by rioting and unrest, the common folk have risen up against you. It's anarchy out there. You've sheltered in the palace while the mob heaves through the streets, toppling statues and dragging nobles from their mansions to be stoned to death. You must regain control, Your Majesty! It's too late. All is lost. Send for the treasurer! The treasurer cut her losses this morning. She's fled, along with a great deal of all the gold. Fetch the marshal? The marshal is unavailable. She's trying to contain the riots. The council meeting? Can't be done. The nobles have returned to their homes to look after their families. They face similar unrest within their borders. What can be done? Our options are limited. Somewhere nearby, glass smashes. You become aware of a dull, muted roar, like the flood rushing through a valley. What's that? I believe the common citizens have arrived at the palace to meet you in person, Your Majesty. The roar is 10,000 angry voices, getting louder and louder. Swords clash along with gurgling screams. Do you have any ideas, Chancellor? Just one. Your Chancellor heaves open a nearby window and sticks a leg out. It was an honor, Your Majesty! I'll see you on the other side! They leap out the window, there's a long shriek, followed by a distant thud. Ah! I'm fine! I'm fine, really! Quick, Spymaster, what can I do? It's my fault, really, for allowing things to get to this point. She takes a steep step forward, pulling a curved blade from somewhere within her sleeve. For the good of the kingdom. I'm gonna run. The Spymaster throws a knife with deadly accuracy. As you tumble down the steps with the blade between your ribs, you roar, for the mob gets louder and louder. Having left no heir, it'll be up to the nobles to vote for your successor among the claimants. You can only hope that they will keep the kingdom more stable than you did. No, he's fine! He's fine, okay? He's built of plotium. Hey look! Vote for Marcella Olivia! Well, this kingdom's cursed! Who wants to vote? Who wants this crown? This crown is cursed! It is a cursed crown that you wear upon your head. Marcella has taken off the veil and has become king. Having plunged the kingdom into utter chaos, Monarch Cyril was assassinated by the Spymaster, whose loyalty was always to the kingdom, not the monarch. Is this the first time the counts have ever won? The patricians failed to turn the kingdom's debt against it, and the moment had passed. Even ever practical, they set about collecting interest and hoarding wealth, waiting for the time to scheme once more. Unable to convince the peasants to act in time, the chief scheme fizzled into irrelevancy. Perhaps next time, they'll take matters into their own hands, instead of hinging their plans on the whims of the common folk. Oh, does it? Goes to the two kingdoms with the highest stats. Oh, they won with the monarch, did they? Ah. I just don't remember this music, it's been so long. The counts leapt into the power vacuum left by Count Cyril's death, and Marcella took the crown with the council's blessing. Monarch Cyril the Inadequate. 1 year and 6 months! That's the kingdom you're inheriting, Cyril. That's the kingdom you're inheriting. I mean, oh no, it could be worse. You could get a very short reign potentially, but give me one moment, I'll be right back. I am Lebec. Let us see what happens with the new schemes. We will find an interesting scheme, and maybe we will work towards accomplishing it. And destroying everything along the way. My throat is a little sore, which is a little unfortunate, but I'll deal with it. Hopefully I'm not coming down with an illness. That would be unfortunate. I probably just pushed it a little hard of late. Maybe I'm just a bit tired. Have a beverage TM. I just had a beverage TM. That is a great excuse to put up the beverage TM. I left all the Animal Crossing stuff up, didn't I? I don't have maracas, I can't use them. Look, I did many terrible things, okay? Someone did redeem little Cav, though. Truthfully, Cav is the monarch we all need. It was also the first non-loyalist, that is true. Well, at least they didn't destroy the entire palace. I don't know what ending's being fought for now. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from Monarch Cyril, but you must still answer the council. What? Rumours of my passing were greatly exaggerated. Yes, people said that I threw myself out the window and I perished, but I assure you, I landed on my feet, and they didn't break. I'm just that fortunate. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Should I get changed into my waterproof robes then? Maybe for the best, Your Majesty. Should we call the nobles in?
I'm rich!
Whoa! Sam there just tipped 12.34. Congratulations, Kiko, you got your house, and I got admitted to laws. That sounds like a fantastic celebration. Thank you for the generous donation, and congratulations. That is amazing. That is amazing. I'm not going to influence the vote at all. I suppose, technically, if you had exactly the right amount of money to invite foreign dignitaries to show off your wealth, as, like, the East faction, you could just, like, spend all your money and instantly go broke. Have everyone wear black and listen to dreary Eastern music. Well, guess that's happening. Holding with Eastern traditions, you make sure that the coronation is a muted affair. Black clothes, whispered oaths, solemn music played on a pipe organ. The chiefs and patricians find it irritating, and the common folk who've been expecting a party find it baffling and depressing. But by Xenia's ashes, tradition is important! Events have proceeded exactly according to plan, and the throne is ours. Now just remember our agreement. In all matters of state you shall favour the East. The East is supreme, of course. Very good. Now introduce yourself to the rest of the council. Good luck in the days ahead, Your Majesty, although considering the fact that, what is going on with this kingdom? A pleasure, Your Serene Highness. I've been looking into crabs. Are you interested in buying some? What do you think? Would she be a good little queen and do as she's told? Look at my fantastic moustache. Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Your Majesty, this kingdom is an absolute shambles. I don't know why I'm here. When you die, how will you hope the kingdom will remember you? Well, I clearly am going to be a conqueror. A warrior queen is sure to be remembered fondly. But we've not had a good track record on those. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the military as much as possible. Once you have an heir, we'll discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Alright, what are our schemes? Mara of the Ada dynasty is speaking with a melodious voice. Most excellent. Marcella now sits on the throne and the counts are in charge as they should be. But the other regions are already scheming to depose her. Do we stay loyal or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Yeah. Have we seen both of those before? I don't know. This is when we get Ragnarok and we're like, yes! Well, you're staying loyalist apparently. Well, long live the Queen. May she bring glory and honour to the East. But we'd always change our minds. If Marcella ever gets out of line, we can take up arms and get rid of her the old-fashioned way. Even if it's not our usual fare. Meanwhile, Tobias and the Tentretto family. Fellow patricians, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of Queen Marcella. Something must be done. Oh, okay. Doppelganger's there. Alright, we have to go for King Biffo. We must go for King Biffo. Okay, I promise this time we're going to let Biffo happen, okay? It's finally time to have Biffo. I promise we'll work on Biffo, alright? We'll do it. The physicians plan to swap the real queen for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of the spy master. Keep Defiance at 4 or less for a year, we can do that. Meanwhile, Often is like, blah, 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 posters, blah. Oh no! Ragnarok's there too! Now what are we... Okay, it's a race against time. Who's going to achieve their goal first? Okay, I will let you two battle it out. Okay, this is actually a battle here. We actually have a contest here. Is it going to be Ragnarok or Defiance? I promise that I won't scupper the Doppelganger one by keeping Defiance high. I'll let Doppelganger get to the second phase. The chiefs plan to make an alliance with the ice giants to take over the kingdom. First, they must not be weak, or the giants will take their proposal seriously. You must raise the military to 5 or more in a year, so you're both going to manage your scheme in a year. Okay. Yes. I mean, you're going to vote for stuff anyway. So. Honor Guard. Your August Majesty, I have a brilliant idea. Why don't you hold a battle royale to choose your Honor Guard? If you let us host it in the coast, we'll even pay for it. The spectacle will boost our economy massively. This is pointless. Why not just choose your Honor Guard and have it be done with that? No, we will host this battle royale. Most excellent. I'll begin organising the event at once. A week later, you receive word the battle royale is due to begin, held, of course, in the coastal arena. You travel down to spectate, along with a horde of murder fans from across the kingdom. Welcome one and all. Today's competitors are Northern Warrior Heroes, Eastern Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose. Whoops, I dropped some Lego. And the Patricians, greatest gladiators, champions of the arena. What's a Lego, Marshal? Never you mind. Who supports your Serene Highness? I mean, I'll support the... clearly the gladiators. A wise choice. Let's watch a little blood get spilled, shall we? The bell rings! Northern warriors scarcely have time to catch their breath before the Eastern Knights upon them, raising their voice in song. Sparks fly as blades clash. 3 fighters dart back and forth, almost too fast for your eyes to follow. Once, twice, the blade finds its mark. Blood sprays, and finally someone stands victorious. It's the Coastal Gladiator, doing some kind of obscene victory dance. His opponents lie dead at his feet. Excellent, I knew you could do it. Looks like you have the honor guard you wanted, your esteemed highness. And no loyalty lost. Your Majesty, there is this person to see you again. I don't know why they keep coming, Your Majesty. We either impound all their stuff or, you know... It's you! Let me hear about your proposition. I will absolutely take all of your guns. Let's call a vote. Okay, people. Take the guns. We will have guns on top of our guns. In fact, what if we get 2 guns and we put them next to each other and, like, fire both barrels at once? We could have, like, a sort of dual-barreled musket. We'll call it the double-shooty. Or the 2-shoot. Guess what? Our military is 988. Mighty, mighty, and terrifying. Also, something going on here. Your Majesty, excellent news from beyond the sky. As your greatness knows, I'm an amateur astrologer. I have seen that a solar eclipse is on its way, visible from the north. We must encourage the kingdom to gather beneath the dark sun and experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. Death's below. No! An eclipse is a warning from a ninth god, a sign the kingdom has fallen to shadow. All the nobles start talking at once. Some are excited, some are horrified, but all are very loud. I mean, clearly, we must focus on holy protection against this eclipse. We must protect ourselves from the sun. that... Well, historically, there was actually a war that was literally stopped by an eclipse. Because it was ancient history and they were fighting for ages and ages. They were in the middle of a battle and the eclipse happened, and both sides thought, oh dear, the gods are angry at our war, and they both stopped fighting. So there is precedent. Northern sagas have few specifics about the sun going dark other than the usual, we're all going to die, so the chiefs turn to church scripture for help. You hope they will find something before the eclipse occurs. Oh my, the chiefs could vote for even more military. Well, you see, what we did is that we made a really big gun, and then we put it on a cart, and we covered the cart in iron, and we've invented a tank. We literally just invented tanks. That's what we did. We have tanks. We also have thunder troopers, and we attached birds to some of them so that they can land from flying. We've invented planes too. Okay, so we might have a military from like the mid-20th century in a magic-filled medieval... Or I think we might become the world-conquering evil empire. That's not good, is it? No. No, it's not. Oh well! Private exchange? The Earth captain you allowed to stay in the capital, the one who traded those weapons, she has been the cause of some concern. Nobles have complained that she has been rude and confrontational. She does not know royal etiquette after all. Worse still, some suspect her of being a Kurth spy. I'll have a word. You find Orid pacing the halls, far from her assigned quarters. Can I help? Kurth bounty hunters landed on my coast long ago. And they're looking for me. I did not expect them to come here. Clearly I was wrong. You'll be fine if you stay with me. Are you sure? I am the Queen. There is nowhere safer. Very well. I hope my trust is not misplaced. Your Majesty, I'm afraid we learnt nothing from scripture about the eclipse. Heathens! We searched through our most ancient monasteries and discovered a book describing a time when the sun went dark. And then, servants of the evil seventh god broke through while darkness fell and took possession of the one who predicted the eclipse. And now the seer in question is none other than Chief Welcome to Tiny Train World. That's just some old book. I'm not any sort of demon. Not yet. Your August Majesty, the scripture describes how a demon will use Welcome to Tiny Train World to wreak havoc on our realm. We must protect the kingdom. I mean, I say we rally the priests for protection. It seems like a good idea. The priests have always been good at dealing with this. This'll have wide-reaching ramifications, but you know. We can just execute them, but we're not going to do that because their corpse will probably come to life. You're probably going to vote for murder. I know you were going to vote for murder. If this gives free defiance, we'll find a way to lower defiance. Don't worry, we can always just give you a bribe. Fervent priests of the north flock to the north. Priests of the ninth god flock to the north to draw the faithful closer, hoping to ward off the eclipse demons. Even the most pagan northern peasants start drifting to church services. Not all the chiefs are pleased, muttering that the people shouldn't turn from the old ways. Some nobles claim the archbishop is gathering as much power as the crown. The kingdom waits in anticipation of the solar event. Well, you know, it's time, sir. You've got to find a spouse. Well, we will find any spouse. It's an easy decision. You're married to the count as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right? about that. Okay, right. Harsh. Nah, well, we could just do that. Yeah. That's fine. We need the money. We'll need the money to pay off the bounty hunters. Your Majesty, these folks are bounty hunters representing the Republic of Kurth, they say. Queen Marcella, we greet you humbly. How may I help you? We are searching for someone, a fugitive you might say. Last we heard, she went by the name Oreed. What kind of fugitive is she? With ships under her command and property of the Republic of Kurth, as is their cargo. I'm afraid she's under my protection. As we feared. Still, perhaps you can work out a deal? The Grand Pensionary of Kurth is offering a large bounty for the return of this woman, and we are sure that an esteemed queen such as yourself would not risk drawing Kurth's ire. As proof of our goodwill, we would like to keep the firearms that were stolen. Or we could discreetly pay the hunters to take someone else. I mean, they don't know it's a reed. A little bit of money thrown around here and thrown around there, and then suddenly, yeah. There you go! Our military is ridiculous. The bounty hunters do not take long to consider your offer. They return to Kurth with the head of a nameless prisoner. You hope officials back in the Republic will be none the wiser. Oreed decides to stay in the kingdom, offering her advisory service to the Navy as payment for sparing her. Well, I found matches for you. Let's see what they look like. We have Eric, firstborn son of the Northern Farside clan. He's a melancholy sort ever since he was a child, but otherwise he's decent enough company. I've heard he spends most of his time playing cards and making wagers with friends and hangers-on. People say he nurses a grudge, though. Then there's Valentina, of the Urbis 83 dynasty. Forgive the snooty expression, I'm sure that's caused by an errant brushstroke. She had a laboratory installed in her castle and spends most of her time there, conducting bizarre experiments. She went missing a while ago, but it turned out she'd accidentally locked herself in her cellar. Survived on wine for a week. And finally from the coast you have Octavia, the wealthy heiress to Lord Patrician Darkover 81's estate. She wasn't originally the heiress, but her elder sister had an unfortunate accident. Her interests are typical of the coast: money, 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 and making more of it. She's said to be led by her passions, living at the moment with no thought for her reputation. But what do you think? I know who we're going to take. Eric of the North! I'll make the arrangements. Because 2, 2, and 3. Look at how well I'm doing balancing everything. Also, oh no. Well, we've had this thing before. Unfortunately, it's just business. It's just business. You got a choice. You can either vote for it's just business or... yeah. That's what you can do. I'm sure you'll all think carefully about your off-road Duckies discounts. Look, you can't vote for the Duckies discounts. That's a travesty. But it's alright though, because you guys really like me. And 10 trade. Oh geez, you have a monopoly on trade. Okay, yes, replace that. The Eclipse, a special surprise. Though it's been a long day of council sessions, you stopped by Oreed's quarters before retiring for the night. The Chancellor mentioned she wanted to see you. Inside you're met by a peculiar sight. She's laid out a table with expensive food. A bottle of wine cools in an ice bucket. Candles flicker flicker in the darkness. Your luminance. I wanted to thank you for everything you've done in keeping me safe. Is this what I think it is? It's merely a token of your gratitude, my queen. The least I could do. Are you imagining, or do you hear a tinge of affection in the way she says my queen? She's never called you that before. Ooh. Join her and be merry. You enjoy a night of good wine and questionable food. She tells you stories of the faraway mist-laden Kurth, her former life as a senator, and her escapades as an outlaw. To tell you the truth, my crimes against Kurth were more than I initially let on. If I had succeeded, you might have called it a coup. But the Republic is not what it once was, and I was young and headstrong. I understand. You want to change things. Yes, that's me in a nutshell. Always aiming high. She glides closer to you, her wine-speckled lips glistening in the candlelight. A stray hand creeps behind your shoulder. Oh, are we gonna totally upset everyone by marrying a reed? Never stop aiming high. She leans in, her eyes fluttering. Well, looks like we're romancing a reed. Draw in for a passionate kiss. You lose yourself in the embrace. Suddenly, you forget your crown, your responsibilities, the whole kingdom. All that matters is her. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. But I want to be with you. But you're engaged to be wed. I refuse to play second fiddle to anyone, even for you. I'll call it off and marry you instead. You will? She looks uncharacteristically timid for a moment, then embraces you. Let us spend the night together and celebrate a little longer. There'll be a lot to straighten out in the coming months. You do so gladly. A wine-fueled, laughter-ridden night ensues. You wake up the next morning with a splitting headache, a reed's strong arms wrapped around you. Oh dear. In the capital, the solar eclipse does little except make the day a little grey, but in the north it's a different story. Your Majesty, I hardly escaped alive. Please, you must help us. What happened? My parent. As the sun went dark, they changed into a monstrous demon creature, a reptile as tall as a building. They bit the head off their servants, and more demons erupted from their corpses. We fled to our lodges for safety, and the God-speakers burned sacred herbs to ward off the beasts. Priests and God-speakers joined forces to pray for anyone who will listen. But they grow weary. They can't last forever. By the ninth, it's just as I feared. We are forsaken. What if they spread across the kingdom? Learn to live with the demons. No. That's bad. Oh boy, this is gonna go awfully wrong. Welp. This will be a disaster. For panic! Me! I'm coming to go deal with the demons kick me! That's pretty much what happens. Ninth priests from all across the kingdom gather in the north to protect the northern presence. Witnesses report one especially brave priestess punching what used to be Welcome to Tiny Trade World 2's parent in the fangs with a holy symbol. Eventually, the creatures retreat back to the Seven Hells. You can only hope they're cowed. Meanwhile, the Archbishop is eager for the church to take credit. Priests scramble to attend as many sermons as possible, keen to avoid keen to avoid anything like this happening again. Well, we're about to cause a comeuppance. Calling off your wedding to marry a swashbuckling senator turned pirate on faraway Kurth? Oh, the bards will simply lap it up, your majesty. It goes without saying, the nobles won't be happy, but at least you're marrying someone. I persuaded the Archbishop to go through with the ceremony. It could be worse! At least I'm not marrying a fish! Oh no! We'll make it work. Well, I wish you both luck. This afternoon you find yourself in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Oreed by your side. Her dress uniform is freshly starched, medals gleaming in the stained glass sunlight. I now pronounce you queen and wife. Once you're finally alone, she cracks out another bottle of wine. Where does she keep getting those? You wonder if she's been at your stash. So passes another night of raucous laughter and drunken escapades. Part of you wishes it could go on forever. But the kingdom won't run itself. Oh, we married a reed. I think it's an achievement for that. Meanwhile, anchored a few miles to the sunny coast, Lord Patrician Nebulous Gorm has invited his closest confidants aboard his yacht. You said you had a surprise for me? Indeed, and here it is, behold! Your Majesty, what are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry I didn't overhear any. Hello, Gnosis. Haha, good blabbling, it's Biffo the 27th. We're remarkable, and just in time. The spy master trusts us so much, she's not noticed that we're refitting civilian vessels into battleships. Look at our military. Means we can move to the next phase, kidnapping the queen and putting this fool in her place. How do you manage that? We need the kid to be in utter chaos. Bad enough that the queen's abduction can slip past unnoticed. Stability of 4 or less in a year. Meanwhile, in the far north, the chiefs are plotting to bring about the end of the world. Ragnarok. Praise Morgana. Initial talks with the ice giants are going so well they've gifted us a new patch of fertile land in the northern valleys. My gods are good, but with luck, those will be the foundation of an alliance strong enough to rock the world. Aye, the ice giants are a formidable ally, tall as a building and limbs like tree trunks. And those southerners don't know how to fight them like we do. But first you must offer them something the giants desire. A whole kingdom's worth of pillage? Just what we were thinking. If we fill the kingdom with bountiful treasures and plunder, the giants won't be able to resist. Ooh! Okay. Other regions' total trade. Oh dear. A beached whale? Your August Majesty, a great big whale washed up on the coast, right outside my villa. However, before I could order my servants to harvest its blubber, finfolk crawled up on the sand. It begged me for an audience with the Queen. I've always wanted to meet one of the denizens of the sea. Her hopes are fulfilled when a frog-faced green-skinned man models in, his slippers slapping against the marble. Your Majesty, you must not allow Lord Patrician Death Walker 369 to kill Hikmah. Hikmah is a wise and gentle whale, a great friend of the Finfolk. In what way is this whale your friend? She keeps the sharks away, banishes our gloom with her beautiful songs, and provides us with her bounteous milk. Ah, please return her to the waters where she was born. Or, hear me out, Your August Majesty, we could strip down the whale for its component parts and make a fortune! Who cares what these fish-faced fools think? Okay, hear me out. We don't want this, ironically. You see, now I've got you both to stage 1. You two have to compete with each other. You have to compete. So I know full well that one of you is going to vote for returning the whale, and the other one is going to... Yeah, the trade won't increase. The trade actually won't go up. So in fact... I'm gonna do this. Got to make friends with the Finn folk. We already have Oreed as our wife, now we'll make friends with the Finn folk. How many of you have just noticed that that wasn't the golden choice? That's the iron choice. By the ninth, I can't believe this. How could you take the fishmen's side over your own citizens?
Thank you, Your Majesty. The Finn folk owe you a great debt.
Using a crane and a team of oxen, the great whale is lifted and placed on wooden rollers. Without ceremony, it is plopped back into the ocean where it splashes its tail and sprays water in apparent gratitude. From that point on, coastal fishermen report that their catches have nearly doubled. The grateful Finn folk literally herd fish towards their nets. Uh-oh, a haunting. During a meeting with the Council of Nobles, a commotion erupts as Count Gnosis Doc lets out a piercing scream. By the blood of the dead! Blood and stars, it's here! It's here! He faints away, falling to the ground with a crash. What was he blabbering about? Sounds like he's been drinking! By the blood of the dead, I've been doing no such thing! I thought I'd be safe from it here, but lamentedly. When we built that great bazaar on my lands, some manner of spectre was disturbed. It's made me its target. Why would a ghost care about you? Ugh, are we really entertaining this nonsense? I hear voices, Your Highness, little pinpricks at the back of my mind. Just now I saw a horrid grey shape hanging over me, its face a rotting mask. Definitely drinking. I beg you, Your Grace and gathered nobles, come to my aid. We must banish this wraith. We should do some research. What land was this built upon? What did you build on? Oh, nothing. I just built on several sacred monuments, a burial ground, and yeah, where a dragon lives. Why, is that a bad place to build a castle? Yes. That's a pretty bad place to build a castle. And the problem always works. Does it really? Does it really? You summon the chief architect, who nods thoughtfully when you explain. Oh, we rarely get the architect. This sort of thing's an occupational hazard when building on historical types. Keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? The Grand Bazaar wasn't built on a graveyard or something, was it? I hope not. He hurries off to Kerr University to delve through the records. You can only hope Gnosis' troubles do not get worse in the meantime. Your Highness, I regret to bring this matter to you, but there's no other way. We've been tracking a northern criminal who's wanted in conjunction with a number of high-profile incidents back at home. We thought she'd slipped the net until recently, when we discovered that she fled to the coast a number of years ago. But the patricians are refusing to let us investigate further. Who is this criminal? We don't know her real name, but the common folk call her Widowmaker Carrie. She lied, cheated and murdered her way halfway across the north. Wait a moment, you're talking about old lady Carrie? She's a pillar of the community back in Mykonos. She arrived a few years ago from the north and used her wealth to invest in local businesses and set up an orphanage. Everyone loves her. Surely you jest, old lady Carrie? This woman is a bloodthirsty criminal and must be punished. Those are your choices. Those are your choices. I didn't want trade to go up. I might have to stop after this season, however. My voice is starting to get a bit hoarse. When Widowmaker Carrie arrives in the capital, she looks like any other sweet old lady. The sort of woman who gives local children candies against their parents' wishes. How can I help you, dearie? How do you plead to Shield of Hope's accusations? Oh dear, I'm afraid Shield of Hope must have mistaken me for someone else. I swear by every god there is, your greatness, I've never pillaged anything but my pantry. Why do you have the same name as this outlaw? Oh well, there's a lot of people from the north called Carrie. It's a very common name, even my mother was called Carrie. Why did you move to the coast? I always liked it there. People are so delightfully different. And they love orphans, just like me. Have I mentioned that I love orphans? They remind me of myself, when I was an orphan as long as I can remember. You were orphaned since birth, but you know your mother's name? Suddenly, Carrie's face shifts. She adjusts her posture, stands up straighter, and stares you right in the eyes. Alright, you got me. I'm Widowmaker Carrie, but I'm reformed now, see? Ask the orphans. Are you really reformed, though? Or do you think good deeds outwash the bad? I hope so, your highness, or else I wouldn't have done them. It's all much of a muchness really now, isn't it? I've already admitted to the one Shield Hope's looking for, that pompous idiot. So what you gonna do to me? Hello there, Timmy. Hand her over to the chiefs. Gods bless you, your greatness. Although I'm not sure why we couldn't have just done it this way to begin with. Carrie is carried off to the north to face justice there. Now that you've seen through her facade, everyone agrees that you made the right decision. We did that before badly, but now we're just like, yep. Deep in the back rooms of the royal palace, the eastern counts are poring over secret letters and scribbled diagrams. On the wall is a corkboard filled with pins and crisscrossed by coloured string. The Queen didn't marry Valentina, but at least she married someone. Now she needs to get on with finding an heir. Which group did you join? Timmy, you joined... the Counts! Actually, you're a loyalist right now. That said, we're probably only going to go on for about one more season before I stop. But I am streaming this game on Mondays. Indeed, the clock is ticking. The Patricians have been unusually quiet recently. They've been trying to get into the Spymaster's good books, but I can't work out why. Well, we've got to keep our good efforts. Queen Marcella isn't going anywhere on our watch. The Counts must continue to aid the Queen by countering the other region's schemes. Oh! Well, that's bad. So may I wholeheartedly recommend that everyone votes tons of money into, say, I don't know, A and B? Sure, sounds good. You just need to make sure that D doesn't happen. That's all you need to make sure, is that D doesn't happen. Which might be difficult. But that's going to be it might be incredibly difficult. But D for difficult. Exactly. I think I can get one more season in, I think. And get one more in. Oh! Oh! I mean, wow! E and A! I mean, I'll take it. It should be fine. Your marriage to Reed has leapt from strength to strength. You found your soulmate, and every day you count your blessings. It's time you thought about an heir. Well, you're finally married, but something's still missing. You need an heir. Well, obviously, we have a child together, and that solves that one. Then, a bizarre report. Your Majesty, I have received worrying reports. Worrying and confusing. let me help you out. What's wrong? We see reports of one of my little birdies, Lord Patrician Nebulous Gorman's villa. He has a most unusual guest. Who? It's you, Your Majesty, or someone who looks just like you. I have no reason to suspect the patricians of plotting anything, and yet I can't square this away. Unfortunately, I can't devote too many resources to solving this puzzle with the kingdom in such a lamentable state. Too busy fighting fires elsewhere. I recommend you call a meeting of the council to try and do something to put a stop to this. We'll assemble them at once. We could triple the security around the palace. Come on, people, triple the money around the palace. Gotta get that money in there. Not do nothing. No. This is a true fight now. Also, nothing for Biffo. For Biffo! Quite suspicious. So we're raising our stability to lower our stability. The ranks of your palace watch are swollen with new men. A strict curfew is set up with a 2-mile radius of the palace. It should keep you safe, but the nobles think it's a display of weakness. There are rumours you're slipping into paranoia. Oh, Chief Architect's bad, by the way. Your Majesty, I discovered something interesting about the land on which Count Gnosis' haunted Grand Bazaar was built. What did you find? The ghost is actually Gnosis' great-great-uncle Ilya. He isn't haunting the building, he's haunting him. My great-great-uncle is angry at me? I never even knew him. I can call upon Quail University for more information. Dracov's bones, I don't need information, I want this ghost gone! I mean, let's talk to the ghost? I mean, sure, the ghost will be reasonable about it. I want you to return my sock. Your sock? Yes! You know it will have rotted away. Bring back my sock! Socks! You want to talk to this ghost? What if it's a demonic spirit sent from the Seven Hells to corrupt mortal minds? But the will of the council is absolute. Gnosis hurries away to do as you say. Hopefully great-great-uncle Ilya will be as talkative as he is irascible. Somewhere along the coast, Lord Patrician Nebulous Gorman strolls over Olive Grove. The kingdom's not exactly peaceful, but there's still no way we could stage an abduction of the queen without being noticed. We need chaos! You're close to that. Meanwhile, as well, is hosting yet another feast. Not everyone is in the mood for celebrating, however. No developments, I'm afraid. The giants aren't willing to commit. Not yet, anyway. What's the problem? They leave their brains in the ice caves again? Or are we too scared to take on a beastly queen? Nay, not enough plunder. We must make the other regions bigger, juicier targets. Chiefs aims to raise the other regions' taxes, money, and ooh. Well, I'm sure you can deal with a slight increase in the amount of money I'm charging you. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You still made 100 wealth. 500 minus 400. You're fine. You made 100. You know what time it is, though, folks. I have some bad news. It is time for us to leave us on a cliffhanger. Because we're near the end of the stream time. To get new watch? No, I need my watch repairing, actually. End of the stream? Yep, I'm sorry, but we're near the 3-hour mark, and my voice is getting quite hoarse now. Nay, continue. Yeah, because my voice. A new trend is a jeweled crabs. It might be! It might be jeweled crabs. I mean, aren't you excited for jeweled crabs next time? I bet you are. I bet you're really excited about jeweled crabs. I'm actually quite tired, to be honest. Let's see what happens on Wednesday then. That'll be Mega Man. Wednesday is Mega Man. Mega Man 2 specifically. But thank you all ever so much, folks, seriously, for being here. My voice is incredibly important, yes. That's achievement for earning money on them. I mean, we'll try. To be continued next Monday, absolutely. But there are a couple of things I need to quickly talk about. First off, I need to thank you all for being here, because you're all absolutely fantastic and amazing and brilliant and wonderful. Couldn't do what I do without you, and I wouldn't want to. Thank you very much. There's also a couple of little things I need to announce, like my website, kikoski.com. You can check out all kinds of things there, including my schedule, read with Dust On. You can also find links when Bigger and Hope. We're getting close to finishing book 2 now. There's also my Discord. Join a larger thriving community there. Lots of places to talk about stuff there, loads of emotes, and if you join and link your Twitch and Discord together and you sub to on Twitch, you can use the Twitch emotes and Discord, which is fantastic. Then there's my Patreon. You can pledge to support me in doing what I do. There's some Let's Play stream my set behind paywalls, but there is a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that you typically do not see, including but not limited to all the editing, compression, test streams, and test recordings, and everything that makes all what I do a reality. And with the mortgage and everything, I really do rely on the people that pledge to me to make all what I do possible. And those that do, ooh, ghosts, not only get a different coloured name on Discord, and my deep and sincere thanks. You also get the ability to put suggestions forward for the Patreon shortlisted vote. Then there is my pair of YouTube channels. First there is Kikoski, my 16-year-old 10,000 video strong Let's Play channel. I'm so old. Then there's Kickvodskia, which is my newer VOD focused channel. And to get both of them to grow, appeasing the algorithm is required. It's not as difficult as you think. Liking, commenting on videos helps. Oh, indeed, Thrith, indeed. And subbing, if you're not subbed, also it helps. And if you are subbed, press that bell for those notifications. Then there is my Twitter, the Mastodon, Instagram, Blue Sky, Discord, and the community tab on YouTube. There, you can get notifications on when I start streaming, on my Let's Play videos go live, and all kinds of random other stuff. But that is not all. There's also my throne wishlist, where you can put money towards things that bring me joy. Like that table and chairs. We are only 31% away from it. We're just over the 2/3 mark. We're getting very close. But we're not there yet. Every little bit helps, and if you have a suggestion for things to go on with your own wishlist, you need only suggest them, and if I like them, the idea, I will put it up there to be pledged to. Then there's my gratitude to thank all of you, because seriously, you are all absolutely amazing and fantastic and brilliant and wonderful. You truly are. I couldn't do what I do without you, and I wouldn't want to. You are the most wholesome and wonderful and amazing and kind community ever. And you are incredibly supportive and wonderful. I mean, you're supportive in me achieving my silly goals in this game. A game that is, like, meant to be me versus you in a way. But it's basically, hey, let's tell a silly story that is very silly. You're all just wonderful. And with your continued support, I'll be able to keep doing this for many, many years to come. As many years as is possible. So thank you all, folks, ever so much. Seriously, thank you. Thank you so much, thank you. Really, thank you. You're all wonderful. And whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you achieve everything you set out to do. The next stream is tomorrow, 2 PM BST, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Becky is getting settled in, and I really need to start thinking about who's going to move onto the island next. I need to come up with a new group of villagers. I'll figure them out tomorrow, I'm sure. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. And remember, be nice to each other, everyone, for if everyone is nice to each other, the world would be that much better a place. And we all want that, don't we? Well, I certainly do. And I hope you do too. Later. Will it be Biffo or will it be Ragnarok? We'll find out. We'll find out. Or maybe I'll win somehow. Somehow. Bet it happens. Later.